Hi there, my name is Jazz, and I'm an avid gamer who just happens to also be a fledgling trans woman. And I think it's interesting to talk about video games in relation to my transition, ongoing as it is, because I think games have actually genuinely had a significant impact on my thought process and now has helped to build my confidence into the real world, what transition actually means in reality, what the actual implications are. Because I think I've worked it out. I think what's special about games is that you might read a book and be like, hey, here's this character, she's doing this, he's doing that, whatever. But with games, you're there and you are the character. They are your avatar of action upon the world. And I think today's topic will be Saints Row 2 because, believe it or not, as ridiculous and overtly offensive in many ways of a game as Saints Row 2 and the whole Saints Row franchise really is, it's also weirdly inclusive in its own way. And I think Saints Row 2, someone unbeknowingly they gifted me this game, and unknowingly they set in motion this whole string of mental processes because I was thinking, hey, Saints Row, I can create whatever gorgeous gal I want and just kind of pour my girly frustrations into this game. So not only does Saints Row 2 let you create just pretty much whatever humanoid creature you want, um, it's amazing because actually plenty of games let you be a dude or a girl, but what Saints Row 2 has that I don't think I've actually seen anywhere else is a hormones bar, which is not it's not just a binary option. It has a male extreme and a female extreme, and you can pick one of several levels in between. And that was a bit of a revelation. So so that's the thing about Saints Row is you can set up your character, you can pick one of several voices, which in itself is amazing, and then the game basically treats you the same no matter what your ridiculous character is. So for me, it was incredibly refreshing to be like, hey, I'm this crazy gorgeous girl avatar, and the game takes me completely seriously. I mean, even in Mass Effect, it's like, well, now you can only be with the dudes in Mass Effect 2, even though you were with the girl alien in the first one. Just pretend that didn't happen. Whereas Saints Row 2, it's like you're a badass character who, in my case, just happens to be a badass lady. And it was so great just running around and being this really kind of sure of herself, confident, but also adorable lady. And I quickly became addicted to the clothes shops, I will confess. Became obsessed with owning all the clothes shops. And I think it might have been Saints Row 2 which actually got me addicted to purple, for one thing. It was just. It was one of the first times in a game that I've actually been really genuinely proud of the, the character I'd created because I really felt like she had her own. I'd put my heart and soul into every little detail of how she looked and sounded, and even just her little walking animation was very particular. The little expression. I picked a little confident smirk on her face, you know. And it was also quite liberating the fact that you know you have this female character, but she still, in some of the cutscenes, appears in a strip club surrounded by naked ladies and appears to be into it. So I was totally down with that. Um, it was just it's still funny to me that Saints Row is such a stupid franchise, but almost by accident it ends up highlighting how lacking in diversity a lot of games are. Certainly games of that budget range, Saints Row is a big budget franchise, and the fact that it lets you be whoever the heck you want to be, and the game just kind of treats you the same is great. I wish ever since Saints Row 2, I've been disappointed by character creation in games like Mass Effect and even Skyrim and that sort of thing, because Saints Row 2 probably has the single best character creation. The way the entire game world can be tweaked to one set or another as well. You can, you can have your own special set of ninja strippers as your homies if you want. It was just an incredible experience, and I'd played Saints Row 2 before all these girly thoughts came into my head, but playing it again as a frustrated woman strapped inside a lumpy man's body was just a whole other experience. And now it really has this very special guilty pleasure place in my heart. And I remember what my character actually looks like in Saints Row 2 that I made. And I think she was also one of the first times I'd ever used the name Jazz, and not felt like it was this guilty thing I had to hide from people. It's like, here's my character. And even just posting her on Twitter was such a moment of like almost cheekiness, like, people will guess, people will know. But I just pushed myself to put her out there on Twitter, and in a weird way, it was almost like, this is me, this is the dream me that I wish I was, here she is. And I know it's a fantasy, it's virtual reality, but even having this completely unrealistic dream image of what I wanted to be was so much better than just the chaos that dominated the first few months ever since the word trans first landed in my brain and made a scary amount of sense. So that's Saints Row 2. Whoever it was who gifted me Saints Row 2 on Steam, you inadvertently gave me a wonderful, wonderful gift far beyond the probably £2.50 you spent on it. So thank you. And let me know, everyone, what you thought of this stupid little rambly video. I worry it'll come across as pretentious, but I genuinely think it's just a little bit of insight into me and the special place gaming has for someone in my sort of position who likes games and wants an outlet for girliness or whatever otherness a particular person might have. Yeah. So, go play Saints Row 2. It's really good. You could be a foxy lady in it.
In the resulting trial, Gat was convicted of 1 count of attempted murder and a staggering 387 counts of first-degree murder, promptly sending him to death row.
Hey, Barry, turn this shit off!
Yeah, I was watching that.
I guess you're not anymore, are you, bitch?
Could you turn the TV back on?